Okay, so to do an oil change on a Ninja 250, you need a few things. One, a wrench with a 17mm hex fitting, oil pan, oil filter, and obviously your new motor oil. I'm using Motul 5100 semi-synthetic. Looks kind of like that. Yellow, blue, whatever. It's 10W40 rated oil. A bike that is already warmed up from doing a 15 to 20 minute ride. A Paddock stand, so then it keeps the bike level, so then you have a nice accurate reading of how much oil you put inside and whatnot. And we're gonna start by first getting this bolt, which is just the main for the oil to actually just spill out. So what you want to do is have this oil pan right here, this over here. So what you want to do is loosen up this bolt, and when it does fully, you'll have a whole bunch of oil leaking out, and it should be reasonably hot. So word to the wise is to actually wear gloves, but I like getting my hands dirty, so that's just me. Okay, so now that that bolt's gone, it's officially leaking out. So as you can see, it comes out. Be careful for that bolt though, it pops off when it's warm. And there it goes. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes and it's officially begun to stop draining. As I said a bit earlier, it's marked with a little blue writing. It looks like a 7-ish. And it has a little crush wire here. Most people say that you don't really need it, but I don't know. I just reuse the same one that I had from Time, but whatever. Next thing you gotta do is remove that oil filter right there, and see you in a moment. Now for the oil filter itself, you might need to get a little extender on it just to keep the bodywork intact. Like what I plan on doing, I don't really like to remove the actual bodywork, but essentially you have to go onto this bolt right here, this one right here. Let's see if I can get a better view. This is basically where you want it to go, like right here, which is right next to the drain plug. So in a brief moment I'm just gonna unscrew that, and presto. Okay, so now that the oil filter itself is starting to leak out, it means that the bolt is actually loose. So that means that it's going to be a lot easier to handle now that it's officially leaking. It won't spill everywhere. So you guys can see. And yeah. Okay, so when you take out your oil filter, this is officially what it looks like. As you can tell, mine was really dirty. So it's a good thing I did decide to change it. And as you can see here, the new one is a vibrant red. It's a K&N 401 air filter, or oil filter. And now to replace. Okay, so what you do, first take off this, obviously clean it. That was the oil filter. Here's the actual stem. You see there's a washer and a spring. Keep it nice and tight. See there's a giant O-ring here, and on the bolt itself, which unscrews, there's another O-ring, the giant one, and a little tiny one over there. You have to unscrew this, and you'll see the little tiny one. Take those ones out, lube it with a little old engine oil, and then you fit it back in. Okay, so when you take out the bolt, you'll see there's a little O-ring right about here, which is this one from the package. And what you do is yank that out, put this one in, the engine oil, and presto, This one, you do the same thing. Press it in, lube it up with some more engine oil, and it should be good. Okay, so what you basically want to do now, after you officially change the O-rings, this one and the one that goes right here on this shaft itself, is you want to put back everything the way that you had it just before. So spring first, washer. Okay, so what you do is that you actually screw it in place, and then when you're done screwing it back in, you put the little cover over it, and then you swap it back in. Now that's done, what you do is screw this back in place and tight, applying pressure to it evenly, and then when she can't give no more, use the torque wrench. Okay, now that that's done, time to add in the drain plug. Just hand tighten it, and then eventually use the wrench and tighten it up to your specs found in the manual, and you should be good for the time being. So now what you do is unscrew this cap to put in the new oil, and presto, come up, fail. Alright. Put in your clean funnel cone, whichever way is gonna fit better. Alright, and you want to put about 1.7 liters, I think that's about 1 quart and 7/10 of new motor oil. Once again, mine is Motul 5100 10W40 4-stroke, and begin pouring, keeping an eye to the amount desired. Okay, so after you've officially filled it up to what you believe was full, give it a little start up and shut it off after like 30-40 seconds, and you'll see that's where the oil is. There's 2 notches, one here and one here. You want to get it somewhere in between it. So I officially added about like 1.3 to 1.5 liters of motor oil. So because I emptied both, I need about 1.7, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more to it through here again, and then I'll start it up, and yeah. Okay, provided you did everything properly, it should be about 3/4 way from the high position, and well, a quarter way to the high position, 3/4 away from the low position, as you can see over here. And provided you thoroughly cleaned it and everything, it should be a lot easier to spot oil leaks or anything like that. So at this point, what you want to do is start it up. It should fire on the first try. What usually happens is that actually goes blinking. Oh, the oil light will stay red. I already started it up, but yeah. So that will come off, and pretty much golden.